Should I start talking? Are they recording my visuals? Yes? Oh, okay. All right, so we're ready. Hello, I'm attorney Irving Pinsky. I'm a lawyer, practices personal injury in, basically Connecticut and New York. Well, you can call me from anywhere because I used to have a big network all over the country. But back to the issue today. Today we're doing a show with a very, very prominent local named Alisa Bowens-Mercado, right here. She runs
Hello. Hi, Irving.
the House of Salsa. She teaches people to dance, and there was a breakthrough in science last week that talked about how marvelous it is what she does. They left her name out because they're jealous, but but they did make a breakthrough at the Sandia Labs, and that's the best of the best of the labs. So tell everybody what you do, and what's the name of your place?
It's Alisa's House of Salsa. So I've been dancing for about 17 years now in the city of New Haven, and I'm loving every single minute of it.
Yeah, dancing makes you happy.
It does, and what a great breakthrough that was with that study, because people that dance are happy.
Yeah.
It's a known fact.
And you know what else it said? It said that they discovered that people who dance, including later in life, get less senile. Their cognitive powers stay better and stay stronger for two reasons. One, you're combining exercise, which everybody knows is good for you,
right,
with mental acuity. You have to think when you dance. It's like keeping your brain active. And those two things come together for great results. And the new study, which is beautiful, it also backs up an earlier Harvard study from the neuroscientists there that sort of clued us in on it. But let me tell you, you see her and you will live a better life, probably. And nobody ever got hit by a car dancing in her studio.
No one. In 17 years. And you know how they say, keeping you on your toes? Literally, they're keeping you on your toes because you have to, the brain is always moving. Your feet are functioning. So when I teach a class, I have to tell my students, I say, okay, it's going to travel to your ears first, and then it's going to hit your feet. So once it hits your feet, then you're moving. But it's a lot of processing, but it's fun and people love it.
It's so good for the brain, the heart, and this is not an infomercial. This is something straight out of Sandia Labs. You can Google it. If you can't find it, email me, I'll send it to you. But it's great stuff.
So when are you coming in for a dance lesson? Because you've been...
After the NBA Finals. I'm tied up with the finals. As soon as I get through whooping LeBron's butt, I'll be in for a lesson. I can't even jump over a piece of paper, seriously, but I talk a lot of SHIT. I talk more SHIT than any white boy alive, believe me.
So you
Come on.
So you are, okay, so in football, but you know what I always tell kids, because I go out and I teach at the high schools and elementary schools, and I tell the kids, I said, listen, if you're even thinking about going pro, all athletes have to take a dance lesson. Now, they don't tell you that in football practice. They don't tell you that when you're training for, baseball. But the best receivers, people that score the most touchdowns, they have taken a ballet lesson. Now in Miami, the Miami Dolphins, salsa. So if you're out there and you're going to go into a professional sport, don't be surprised if you're going to have your leg up on a bar one day doing a plie and a pirouette, or some salsa.
She and I had the best argument on the air about...
Yes, agreeing to disagree.
About football hurting the brain and causing people to do crazy things. And it was a good 10-minute argument, and I had a lot of fun, and we left it at that. But anyway, so football and me in high school, I tell people, don't play football in high school, don't play football when you're 8, 9, or 10, because your brain is forming, it's growing a special way. And when you hit it, when you hit your brain, it gets blunt, it gets things like that, and it doesn't work as well. It's like electricity that doesn't fire to the right department. So take care of your brain, nurture it. When you go to school to get smarter, not dumber. Smarter, not dumber. And you don't get smarter hitting your head into the dirt at 25 miles an hour when they throw you down. Anyway, off that rant now. But anyway, back to your dancing, which is lovely. Do you have any video of people dancing? Because I'll cut it into the show.
You know what?
Put a good video of yours
we
in.
have, if you go to my website and my Facebook, you could see just years of people dancing and having a great time. As a matter of fact, I taught the world's largest salsa lesson on the New Haven Green for the 10th annual Arts and Ideas Festival, which was great. So we had helicopters flying all over the place. And the great part about that is we had kids, babies, moms, dads, families. We had kids in strollers. So we counted the babies in strollers because the mothers were motioning the salsa movement. So
this is awesome because we did a show today on the Green on Occupy, where there was one of the largest occupies for a long time. It lasted 6 months. And now we're talking about she ran the world's largest salsa party, jam. Salsa jam.
Yeah, salsa jam. So that tells you a lot of stuff goes on the New Haven Green.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. It's great. It's really good. But so that's I think that's exciting because a lot of people want to learn to dance and they're shy like me, which is total bullshit. But the point is they're shy. They don't learn how to dance, but when they do, their brains last longer, and they're not out running in the street where you get hit by those stinking cars, and they're not out bicycling in the street where you're so exposed. It's amazing.
Well, people are alert. And I always tell people that come into the studio, I said, listen, you don't have to have any experience in dancing. You just have to have some kind of or you have piqued your interest, like watching Dance with the Stars or, maybe one of those So You Think You Can Dance shows or America's Got Talent, because 9 times out of 10, if I go out and I see people, if the music comes on and I see someone tapping their feet, then that means that they're vibing and jiving with the music and they want to dance. So, but I have people coming in, they say, I have no rhythm. And I tell people I'm the rhythm finder. So if I can't find it, Irving, then you might not
You might
have
be dead.
It.
Everybody has to start somewhere. So,
yes.
So my attitude
Basic
is,
steps.
yeah. And we're also going to talk about finding love.
Yes.
That's very exciting because when we do the show Thursday, when is your radio show?
Radio show's 103.5 FM WNHH every Thursday at 1 p.m. We tape live, actually, on the radio. And so we're going to be talking about finding love in New Haven or in the Elm Haven, anywhere, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey. So if you're listening, then you're watching out there. If you want to find love, you're going to find us on Thursdays, and we're going to make sure that we get people, because there's a lot of single folks running around.
Oh, looking for love. Even married folks are running around looking for love. That's what
I
hear.
would hope not, because I just got married, so I'm a newlywed.
Yeah.
But
God bless you.
Yeah, yes, newlywed, it's wonderful. But it's a process of finding love. So we've got to, I found it, so I want others to find it too.
I think it's a worthy effort because people live better when they're in love and when they're dancing and when their brains are still working.
Absolutely.
So we bring that together. And I don't do divorces, so I'm not looking for any business divorcing anybody. Forget about that stuff. That's misery.
Yeah.
If you ever want to see something sad, go on a Friday. On a Friday or whatever day it is now, you go walk through divorce court. It's like the boulevard of broken dreams. People are so sad looking and unhappy. I'm probably ruining our love-seeking thing. But it's very, 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 very sad to watch that. But I don't do divorces.
No divorces, not in dance class.
No, divorces.
Just lots of moving.
You just find another partner. What else do you teach? What other kind of dancing do you teach?
So we do, it's ballroom. We have yoga classes. So people are, they want to nourish their soul. So we have something called lunchtime salsa, lunchtime yoga. So it's just, we had tap classes at one point. So we have a basic, just Latin dancing. So if you ever want to come in for Latin dancing, we teach all kinds. We have kids that come in on the weekends. Parents bring the kids in, ages 3 and up. And we actually just had 2 recitals, which was great. So we have the kids classes, ballroom, all ages. I mean, we have from 3 to 83.
Yes. Is yoga meditation, where does one begin and the other end? Do you have any idea?
You know what? Yoga is, and it's funny because we have this beautiful class that's developing. But when you're in yoga classes, you sustain some type of peace. And, even if you're not doing all of your poses or your stances in yoga, I think it's just being in that environment, which is great. Because I think people think about yoga is it being, okay, I've got to go in there and I've got to do poses. It's really not about that. I think it's about going in and finding your own pose in life, I think.
It's almost like
an emotional pose.
I don't have all the words down, but I know like Zen, meditation, yoga, Buddha, breathing, all those things sort of merge and fuzzy to me. But you're more of a specialist, and I respect that 1,000,000%. Acupuncture from the East is very good.
Chinese herbs, Chinese medicine.
Very important. Ginkgo biloba. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that, I mean, you can do to keep your body moving, and just not physically, but I mean emotionally, spiritually, because like what you pump in is, you know, what you're gonna get out of it.
Yeah. I'm like the last expert on that area because I'm not an expert, but it's nice to know people, and you can always find out. What else? What else is going on now with your radio show? We're doing the love story. We do a lot on politics. We really don't like Donald Trump. We once had a guest who sort of liked Trump, and we fired her ass. I am not going to use her name because she'd be mad at me, but she don't come on anymore because we wouldn't let her talk.
Well, right. We said that we respect all views, whether, you know, whatever party you're, you know, affiliated with. But it's our country is, you know, in wherever stage and stance it is, and we won't talk politics, but we have very strong opinions on that show. And, you know, on the Culture Cocktail, it's a mix of stuff. So we talk about the arts, we talk about politics, we talk about love, we talk about relationships,
we talk about sometimes people want to buy real estate.
Law, we talk about law.
Yeah, law. I'm going to do a show on how to find a lawyer one of these days. And I'm not just going to say, call me. But one of these days we'll do a show on how to find a lawyer in your specialty, in what city, in what state. And sometimes the case starts out in New Haven and ends up in Plano, Texas. It's really interesting the way these things get shuffled around. But we just had a guest on the show who was talking about how he got arrested on the Brooklyn Bridge, protesting with Occupy. And when he went to his court date, they didn't tell him to do anything, so he left. And then the next day he went back, and he kept asking. Finally, somebody said, "Your case was dismissed. Get out of here." And he danced all the way home.
He danced. He did the cha-cha-cha.
Hey, happiness is.
Well, you know, I guess it's just like finding anything else. If you don't know who or who's the specialist in a certain type of law, then you're not going to find. Right, exactly.
And you got to start somewhere, just like dancing. You got to start with one move. What's the easiest dance to learn?
I think they're all easy because
you're a dancer.
But I have people that come in and they say the merengue, because when you merengue, it's basically you're just moving your feet and it's upper body movement and a lot of hips movement. So anytime you're dancing Latin dancing, it's going to be hips and shoulders, and it's movement because you think you're in an island. It's a great dance. It's great music. It's very festive, and people really think that they have flown to Puerto Rico or the Dominican Republic and they've landed somewhere. So I'm going to say the merengue, but they all are very, very, very easy to learn. I have couples that come in for their first dances, and it's usually the thing that they forget. So they get the flowers, they get, you know, the hall, the venue, the menu. And at the end of the day, they go, wow, I don't have my first dance. And so I'll get some couples that'll run in and, you know, they say, we have a week. And I say, okay, well, I got to choreograph your first dance in a week. And so some of them say, well, what's the easiest? And I said, you know what? I said, we're going to make them all easy. So they can come in and do a cha-cha-cha, a salsa, a bachata, or a merengue. So it's just easy. You just got to be willing to just kind of let it go.
You know, I want to say goodbye to that wonderful actress who had a tough life. She used to be on Fonzie's show, Happy Days.
Erin, yes.
Right? And he went, Erin, and she passed away at 56 recently.
Yes.
And a lot of people got down on her, saying that she was in drugs and stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you, this came out news, and I want to just clarify that because I hate to see a person libeled and slandered when they don't have to be. She passed away due to fourth stage cancer, which she didn't earn that. That happens. Right. And when they cleaned up her house, she had no drugs in the whole house, no illegal drugs. So God bless. I just want to clear that name because I felt bad that she had been so maligned.
Yeah.
And she had a tough life.
And you know what? I watched that show. That was one of my favorites. And she was a great actress. And you're right. You know, there's people that go through, and we've talked about addiction on the radio show,
Yeah.
and we've talked about drug and alcohol abuse. And there's just, you know, there's some people that have gotten caught up in their lives, but they've either become clean and sober, and they've moved on to, you know, just do productive things. And you know what? Sometimes things come back, you know, to catch you, but it should not. I don't think it should define who you are, you know, on your last.
Oh, dear, but for the
days,
grace of
so-
God go I, baby. Any one of us.
Yeah.
If we have the cravings that overwhelms our willpower, then we're gone. We're into the void. And now that heroin and OxyContin became so cheap, those drugs became so inexpensive, more and more people are doing it. And over 30,000 people died last year in America, which is by far the record from overdoses, I think, of opioids. And that's such a big number. You don't know. It's far more than got killed from guns. Over 30,000.
Yeah.
Over 30,000.
And you know what I always say? I said, you know, my dancing is my drug. So I never had to get into drugs
That's the
because
best, the best.
you get high on, and
Plus
it
you're in
sounds
love with your husband.
yes,
Right?
absolutely.
That's a
Those are
great
my drugs.
Yeah. I mean that
But-
with total respect. You know,
Yeah.
they got a good marriage.
It's amazing. Like I said, we're 4 months in. This is 6 months. My gosh, I can't even count. But it's a beautiful thing. But you know what? If you can have something that can supplement your life that's healthy, like dancing, like I said. So my high is always, you know, going
Is he
to
a
the
dancer
studio.
too?
He dances. He holds his own.
All right.
He says I'm not like my wife, but he can hold his own. So
I think that's great. It's something.
that's all
common
I can
interest.
ask. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you ice skate? Because
No.
people dance when they ice skate.
I
Are you a
don't-
city girl?
No, I grew up in Bethany, so I'm a girl from the
And
suburbs.
you don't skate from Bethany with all those
No,
lakes?
I'm not skating, and I'm going to tell you why. I don't ski, I don't ice skate, I don't do any kinds. I don't snowboard. I don't roller skate.
Do you know Eric Triffin from Bethany? Eric Triffin, he's a hippie. He's the dancing hippie. He's always
Yes.
around town. You've seen him. Mm-hmm. He has
Yes.
a PhD, you know.
I know.
And
yeah.
and he's an expert on health. He was the public health officer in West Haven.
Yes, I've seen him at gigs and
The
live
best.
bands and.
Sweetest guy you ever
Yeah.
saw. Yeah.
No, it's
He's danced down here.
Oh yeah, no. You know, it's a close community. It's a tight community. That the dancing community
Yep.
is pretty, close. So we all just kind of stick together. But no, I don't ice skate, and I'm going to tell you why. My livelihood is my feet.
Right.
And I'm not gonna jeopardize ice skating or roller skating.
Like that superstar baseball player this week, the best baseball player I think in the world, the world champion Baumgartner or something. He was on a motorbike or on a off-track bike and he crashed and ruined his shoulder.
Oh no!
And he said it wasn't the most responsible thing. The guy's making
Right.
I think maybe $50 million a year, $20 million a year, and here
Yeah.
he is ruining his shoulder. And remember,
I'm not making $50 million, and I'm not
You're
getting
worth
on, and
$50
I'm not
million.
even getting on ice skates.
Yeah. And
so
you haven't been riding those
no,
bikes either,
no.
right?
Which we have in Bethany. So
Yeah,
shout
sure.
out
And
to the
horses.
town of Bethany. We have a lot of horses. We have a lot of cows, deer. It's
Lakes.
Lakes. It's a peck pond. I don't know if they've covered that up, but that was by the community school. But it's a beautiful,
You have a
beautiful.
bookstore out there?
Yes, the
Yeah,
Bethany
Whitlock's,
town.
Right? That's Whitlock's is
Yes.
Norm Pattis, the lawyer, really good lawyer. He has a office out there and a book, Whitlock's Books. the
Yeah, he
barn.
does. Yes.
And a lot of people go there who they're book lovers. Essentially.
Yeah. So Bethany's a great place. My parents still live out there. So I'm in Bethany probably once a week for Sunday dinner. So I love
She
Bethany.
talks to her parents. Not much of a spoiled brat, is she? She
No,
talks to her
I talk
parents.
to my very respectful. Parents are everything, and while they're here and alive,
The best,
you
the
gotta
best.
respect them. So,
Forget the best.
yes.
Oh Lord! So what do you want to talk about now? We can talk about how do you. we can talk about how we need somebody who can put us on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. I have no idea how to use it, but I have it because over the years, different techies who worked for me built me things. I had no idea what the hell they are.
Well, I'm sure these guys at
Oh, they can do it,
yeah, they are experienced
Techies.
professionals. They are techies and they're good at what they do. And
You don't have a YouTube channel, do you?
No, but I'm going to try to. Yes, actually, I do. It's called Salsa Paparazzi. See, I have so many. Yes, I actually have a YouTube channel, and people can go on Salsa Paparazzi.
So involved.
One, yes. But I have. But see, when you're doing your art, you have to have other people to kind of keep that going. So the professionals, keep with the video. Because if I'm out dancing, I can't possibly film myself. So I need folks to upload, take film, and try to track my career as it's,
You can only do so
along.
much. You can only do so much. So I stopped at Edge of the Woods and I bought some organic fruit. Most of it's gone. And this pear looks really good. I'm going to eat that one. And then maybe I'll give these away. But most of the people here, anybody wants fresh fruit, we'll give it to you after the show.
All right. Well, that's good. You always come bearing gifts. You have.
I bring donuts.
You bring donuts. Yes. No more donuts because this is. We're hopefully going into the spring. Hopefully we're getting to the summer quickly.
I'll bring fruit next time. They'll like fruit. There's a Spanish newspaper and an English online newspaper named the New Haven Independent in the radio station that she works at. She has her show at. She works in dance. But the point is that the New Haven Independent is a wonderful online newspaper run by the obviously brilliant Paul Bass, who's so smart you wonder why he's not on Wall Street.
Shout out to New Haven Independent.
Good guy. And they have some Spanish newspapers there, and I bring up
stuff.
And I spoke in a funny way. I said that those newspapers are in the radio station, but really the newspapers are the section, and one room of it is the radio station where we broadcast from. So that's good, and we'll try to make some things work together. I don't know how much more time we have, but I can't see anything. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Oh, we got 5 minutes. Okay, good. So we can go ahead.
So let's talk about the segment coming up this week.
Okay.
Maybe because we're going to be having a month-long segment on finding love in New Haven. And
Month-long?
It's going to be a month-long.
Whole lot of sexo going on.
So, so Irving, we have to find folks' love in the city.
Yeah.
And so, we
can work on it. We'll talk to experts. We'll find experts.
We're going to find experts.
Yeah.
But I just think, the language of love needs to, I think social media is, in some sense, killing the interaction between folks. So we're going to be talking about things, maybe the pros and the cons of why dating's gone bad. Or not as active as it used to be.
Every so often people say to me, if you want to find a good woman, you go to church. Go to synagogue. They tell me that. And one of my friends who runs a giant synagogue in New York, an ex of mine from Morocco, she's very sophisticated, but she came to me one time and said, Irv, you got to come check out my synagogue. Everybody's looking for husbands and everything. So I didn't go, but the funny thing is that later she called me up. She goes, Irving, this is the craziest place. There's a bunch of Chinese girls who come to my synagogue. So I said, what's that mean? She goes, it means they're looking for husbands. And they'll all convert just to get marry a Jewish guy. So I said, my God, I'm afraid. These people are too smart for me. So anyway, but that's the way it works.
Did you go to the synagogue?
No, I didn't go there. Once I went for it in the evening, but I missed it by 5 minutes, so I couldn't go in. But
you can't be late to church.
But also, the meat market isn't on a Saturday night. It's during Saturday morning when everybody goes to synagogue to find love.
Yeah, well, I mean, churches are places that you can find love. You can go out to.
Churches.
There's single events.
What's a good church for love in New Haven or Connecticut? What's the biggest church? What's the busiest church in the area?
Well, my church, I love my church, Community Baptist Church. So shout out to them. And
where's that?
That's in New Haven on Shelton Avenue, 143 Shelton Avenue, New Haven's great service every Sunday at 9:30, and there's some really good folks in there.
That's nice.
Very good
nice
folks.
People. How many people would you say show up on a Sunday?
We could have over 100, 120, 150.
And they basically know each other, and then they have chicken together and stuff like that?
Well, no, some of them don't have to know each other. Some people, we get a lot of visitors, and, so.
Wow, if you want to go to church, if you want to go to a nice church, then go over to where she is and on Shelton Avenue.
Come visit.
And come on a Sunday and meet the
meet
best.
And greet, yes.
Yeah, I get signals. I can't tell if you have 5 minutes or 1 minute. It's like 2 minutes. All right. See, these lights are blinding in that way, and we're working together.
Well, we're going to work on your dance moves so that when you go out to the salsa club, there's going to be lights blaring like this anyway. So we're going to teach you to dance, not just talk with lights. We're going to teach you how to dance with lighting like this.
Alisa's going to make me smooth.
That's right. Smooth operator.
Ooh. And I promise you something. You'll never see me ski. You'll never see me ski because my legs just can't do it anymore. So I'm off the skis. I'm off the skates. I'm just happy to dance around.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me. It was great to be on the show today.
Fun.
I really,
I'm always on her show.
Yes, every Thursday.
And I sing in the shower. I do. I sing in the shower because that's one place where I'm not embarrassed. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you.